it back at Resident Evil 2. I'm full of food, so I might be a bit slower than usual. Put the ink ribbons away. I don't have a lot of ammo. I shot a lot of zombos. Okay, so I think looking at the map, we've been everywhere that we can go on the first floor. So there's not as many rooms as there are in the mansion, in the police station, which I guess kind of makes sense, really. It's like a utilitarian building, right? That used to be a museum, so there's going to be tons and tons of rooms. So we need to go up to the second floor now. And as you've probably seen so far, the level design's been a bit more linear. You are just kind of corralled around right now because everywhere's locked. I don't think that door opens at all, to be honest, that one. It's got the red gem puzzle here, which I may as well do. You just want to move these around onto the pressure points at either side. I'd say there's less block puzzles in this one, but that would not be accurate. I was about to say it, but then I remembered that Sherry's part of the game. Sherry being another character that we play as in Claire's scenario. She's a little girl that appears in this game, and again in Resident Evil 6 in a really creepy, cringy kind of way. But well, I'm sure we'll get to that at some point in the future. Not that I ever want to play Resi 6 ever again. Almost there. There we go, and then he drops the red jewel. Something is written on the mountain. The god of the sun and the god of the moon. They gaze upon me as the only thing that can release the red soul. I've already figured that one out. Oh yeah, one thing they'd stop doing is the kind of 3D moving around when you check items. I'm not sure why they decided to change that. You don't ever have to, you never have to investigate the items that you pick up to find out what they are and things like that. So, good opportunity to talk about the soundtrack of this game. I think it's very, very improved over the first game. I think this is where it starts to have a bit more of an identity. It's not just like a 30-second loop. Each room kind of has its own little motif. I'm not even sure what kind of genre you'd call this music, but it works really well. So this is the STARS office. We get a bit of an info dump in here. It appears to be a replica of a gun. The owner is probably a member of the NRA, so this is Barry's desk right here. Then we have Chris's desk, I believe, because this is Chris's diary. August 8th. I talked to the chief today once again, but he refused to listen to me. I know for certain that Umbrella conducted T-virus research in that mansion. Anyone infected turns into a zombie. But that entire mansion went up in that explosion, because they got the good ending, along with any incriminating evidence. Since Umbrella employs so many people in the town, no one is willing to talk about the incident. Looks like I'm running out of options. August 17th. We've been receiving a lot of local reports about strange monsters appearing at random throughout the city. This must be the work of Umbrella. August 24th. With the help of Jill and Barry, I finally obtained information vital to the case. Umbrella has begun research on a new G virus, a variation of the original T virus. Haven't they done enough damage already? We talked it over and have decided to fly to the main Umbrella HQ in Europe. I won't tell my sister about this trip because doing so could put her in danger. Please forgive me, Claire. So, the STARS members, we get the Unicorn Medal too, the STARS members have been investigating Umbrella And it seems that they're not really getting anywhere because Umbrella kind of has the city under their thumb. They're a very, very big pharmaceutical company. And this is kind of where it gets a little bit political, the corporate horror, which we'll get into later on. We're going to get into it now because it is a big proponent of the plot moving forward for the franchise. At least until... well, at least for this one and the next one, anyway. But there's always that undertone there, but we'll talk about that later. A picture of the STARS members. So there we have all of the STARS members, most of which died in the mansion in the first game. But we can see Jill, Chris and Barry at the end, and Brad, the cowardly man who left the left the helicopter behind. Or left them behind and took the helicopter. It's trashed, someone must have searched the desk. Oh yeah, this is probably Wesker's desk, isn't it? So we have Chris's jacket, which is one of the alternate costumes. And we have Jill's beret right there on her desk. It's a picture of a young man. There's a good chance it's her boyfriend. You never meet Jill's boyfriend. And I guess this is Rebecca's? Yeah, the rookie, the newest member of STARS. And inside we have the grenade launcher! That's a very, very powerful gun in this game as well. There are various devices. This must be where they gather information. Is that everything in here? Nothing suspicious nor out of the ordinary. I thought you got a key from here or something. Guess not. Federal Police Department Internal Investigation Report. Mr. Chris Redfield, Raccoon City Police Department, STARS Division. As per your request, we have conducted our internal investigation and have discovered the following information. Regarding the G-Virus currently under development by Umbrella Inc. So far, it's unconfirmed that the G-Virus even exists. We're continuing with our investigation. Regarding Mr. Brian Irons, Chief of the Raccoon City Police Department, Mr. Irons has allegedly received a large sum of funds in bribes from Umbrella Inc. Over the last 5 years, he was apparently involved with a cover-up of the Mansion Lab, along with several other incidents in which Umbrella appears to have direct involvement. Mr. Irons has been arrested under suspicion of rape on 2 separate counts during his years as a university student. He underwent psychiatric evaluation as a result of the charges, but was released due to circumstantial evidence, as well as his phenomenal academic standing. As such, extreme caution is advised when dealing with him. So it looks like the Chief of Police is under investigation too. Looks like Umbrella have him under their thumb too, by bribing him. Also, he doesn't seem like a great person, does he? Spade is etched under the keyhole. I thought a cutscene happened in there, I guess not. Well, we have the Unicorn Medal now. So, again, being quite linear, it's led us all the way down this path, and it's blocked us now. So it's given us this Unicorn Medal. Please guide me to the beautiful maiden who turned into stone as she waited for me. So that's down in the foyer, like in the entrance to the police station. So it's led us all the way down to this path. Giving us... Then we get blocked by a spade door. So now we need to backtrack back to the beginning. So backtracking, you're still running back and forth across the police station, but it's definitely more linear. There's no real other way to go other than just following this path right now. And because we've cleared all the zombies out, it should be quite safe. Just for now. And that's why I used to hate this, that corridor. That even jump scared me then. I think this was a spade door as well, yeah. If I remember correctly, there's only 2 spade doors as well, and they're still on the critical path to get back to where you need to be, so even then, there's not many optional rooms or anything like that, like there is on the first game either. So they kind of tightened up the level design a little bit. The reason I bring it up is because it's quite interesting, because people blame Resident Evil 3, saying that it made everything really linear. Not really, it's kind of the same in this game too. It does open up a little bit, but it never goes quite as open as the first game. So we have the spade key. So not a lot to get from here, just this crack. I think that's everything from in here. So what we're essentially doing now is we're going all the way back to where we were to unlock that other door. Which, if we hadn't cleared the zombies out already, would have been a bit more of a task to do.
Help me!
There's Sherry. And there's that key. We're done with it now. Simple as that.
Leon!
Claire, you made it!
Yeah. Have you seen a little girl around here?
Yeah, you just missed her. Who is she?
I don't know. But it's too dangerous for her to stay here alone. Leon, I'll go look for her. You go and find us a way out of here.
Of course. But before I forget, here's a radio. That way we can keep in touch if something comes up.
I'll go look for her. You go and find us a way out of here.
So where am I now? Okay, I'm just over here. Okay. Flame rounds, cool. I'll be using those for a long time. Okay, let's put us up to the second floor. Don't need to be here yet. Yes, I don't actually know I'm saying that, but I don't actually know if we're supposed to be here yet. The red herb there, though. Okay, well, come back. Sorry to bother you, sir. There we go, I remember. Easy! I know that puzzle because it's just here. Well, it's open now, but the solution to the puzzle was on that plate before it opened. I just spotted it as the cutscene was playing. That gets us the Serpent Stone. A 6-inch stone with a snake etched on the side. Now we're in need of an item box, so let's go the other way and see if that was a safe room, because I can't remember where the safe rooms are. I think there's definitely more of them than there are in the mansion. Obviously there's just the 2 in the mansion. Doesn't look like it, does it? Must be on the other side. Everything we've seen up to this point, I would consider to be the introduction to this game. Kind of like an episode 1 style thing. The reason I say that is because things now, they've kind of calmed down a little bit from the introduction, and we're starting to settle into this comfy rhythm. Yeah, that's pretty similar to the first game. The police station's now opened up a little bit to us, so I think now might be a good opportunity for me to just ramble a little bit about how I think the design's been iterated on so far. So if we take a look at the police station map, it's all pretty familiar. Like, we have access to both wings, and we need to suss out the puzzles and the order that we need to do these puzzles in. We need to find the keys, and we need to figure out what fits into where. And, there are certain corridors that are much more dangerous than others that we've discovered, mostly thanks to the Lickers, which get introduced a lot earlier in this game than the Hunters do in the first game. I'd say that the Lickers are kind of the analogue to the Hunters from the first game. So because they're blocking off certain routes for us right now, we're starting to figure out routes that we do need to take so we can traverse around the environment safely. Which, it's all very familiar, isn't it? But up to about this point, though, it's been very linear. And the body count is already much higher than most, if not all, of the first game. I'm pretty sure I've killed more zombies already than I have in the entirety of the first game. Where the first game slowly ramps up in intensity, from the first zombie that Barry kills, to the giant snake, to the hunters, to the lab, to the tyrant. Resident Evil 2's had an explosive start. We were immediately surrounded by zombies and we had to run and escape across a few blocks of the city and flee into the police station. And in the police station there are a good deal more zombies per room than any of the rooms in the mansion. And now it's starting to ramp down a bit for a little bit of exploration and to kind of give us a bit of a breather. I think the game starts this way narratively to kind of show us the scope of the disaster overall, or at least show us a little bit of it. Being stuck here in this police station it does leave you wondering about what's happening outside right now. As we're exploring the police station, this city around us is collapsing into chaos. But the game has slowed down though, at least for now, probably to avoid exhaustion under constant pressure. And also because now it's slowed down during this time, it can start to throw some smaller plot threads at us as well, for us to think about. So, for example, one of these, I think it was this one? Yeah, this one kind of mentions the G-Virus, which is, it's a new thing. We know what the T-Virus is from the first game, but this is the G-Virus, a new one that's currently under development. Unconfirmed that the G-Virus even exists, but, they've mentioned it, so it's going to make you wonder what it is. Also, other little things, like, the police chief being a bit weird, taking bribes from Umbrella. I think it's also, it's also really good that it does ramp down at this point, because for horror, it is very important to not be on all of the time, because that can just lead to, the whole thing getting tiring and predictable. A lot of the tension in horror comes from not knowing what's around the corner, and you kind of need some alone time to be able to build that tension back up again. Overall, I'd say the scope of this game is much, much larger. It's so much more than Resident Evil 1, but it hasn't lost sight of what made the original a great survival horror experience in the first place. It's all still here. It's just kind of elongated and filtered to fit the scope of a disaster that it's trying to depict. It's an escalation from the mansion incident. This concept of being an escalation, that's something I want to revisit in the next game. Primarily, the first game is very mechanics driven, right? You're dumped into a dangerous puzzle-filled maze with no obvious or intended path for progression, at least for the first half of that game anyway. Whereas here, it seems to be doing the same thing, but it's doing it in reverse, which I find really interesting. I believe it's doing it in reverse for the sake of the pacing more than anything, so it can better serve the plot and to deliver what feels like a smoother and more considered introduction to the mechanics. That is to say that they haven't really changed the design of the game all that much, they've just kind of... they've changed the path that you take into the design. So now we need to figure out where it is we need to go, and what it is we need to, you know, do. I know that we need 2 of these red gems, and we have 1 of them. But there are 2 that we collect. I actually know where the other one is, but it is a bit of backtracking. You have to use the lighter for it, which I'm not 100% sure if I should do that now or do that later. Because I can't remember where you need to put them. Same deal with this crank as well. I roughly remember where you use this crank. So I think what we'll do is we'll go with a cleaned up inventory and we'll do some exploring. So there's still a bunch of places we haven't been yet. So let's have a look around and see what happens. So I unlocked that door, so I'm guessing this is a shortcut back to... Someone's outside. Yeah, this is the shortcut back down to the first floor west wing, I believe. Pretty sure I've been here before. Yeah. The one zombie that we left alive inside of the... He's been pecked to death. Yeah. Not a very nice way to go, is it, that? Really strong crows that can that can burst through solid glass. Okay, I remember this part. Yeah, the helicopter. I don't think you use the crank here. I think there's kind of like a valve handle that you pick up. Yeah, let's go this way. I think I roughly remember this part. See if I can dodge everyone like a pro! Not that they're particularly hard to dodge when the area's open, to be honest, like that. Oh, I remember this part, actually. Get the crossbow here, if you didn't pick it up earlier. Let's do that. Why not? Because we'll have 2 bow guns. And we also get the valve handle for upstairs. Interestingly enough... Interestingly enough, you can't go back outside here, but this is the only time in the entire franchise where they do a fake out with the door. Which I've always found really interesting. Like, it's such an obvious thing to do, right? But they only ever do it once. Just this once. You'd think they'd like randomise it or something? But I guess that could get annoying. So one of the reasons I'm not really sold on the door animations, like it makes sense from a loading perspective, it's an interesting loading screen. But they kept it for all of the remakes. Because it's traditional at this point, I guess. But people say that it adds to the atmosphere, but it kind of doesn't for me, because I know that nothing's ever going to happen. I used all of that bowgun ammo because, to be honest, I generally don't use the bowgun in this game. Like, I have the grenade launcher, which is a much stronger weapon overall. So that's part of the fire, and it also kind of highlighted the door to us as well. Is there something in here? Guess not. Seems a bit weird. I guess I should get that red gem as well while I'm at it. Since now we have a shortcut down. To get the red gem I need the lighter, so let's do that next. Which should be the fastest way. Probably this way. This is locked, isn't it? Yeah. The layout of the police station is a lot more simpler than... Oh, I just said a lot more simpler, sorry. It's much more simple than the layout of the mansion, though, I will admit. Although it still has to be it still has to be the least plausible civic building I've ever seen in my entire life. But I mean, it's Resident Evil. Plausibility is not... it's not one of the objectives that this game has. It's interesting that in the Japanese version, that item's called the Virgin Heart. I don't think that's what it's called in the Western release. I think in the Western release it's just called Red Gem. I guess this is back in a time where sexual... well, I say back in the time, but I'm still in that time, but you can't have a sexual reference in a video game that's full of decapitations and zombies and blood and guts and death. All of that's okay. No sexual references, though. So the reason I went and got that red gem is because I have a vague memory that we need to use them soon. He doesn't care. He's just chilling. So I need to get the other one out, don't I? So this would have been blocked before by the helicopter. And the fire. That's... that's a stock sound effect if ever I've heard one. I don't remember that. Let's go outside and see see what happened there. I don't remember that. I'm curious now. This is new. Hello? What happened? Was it you? Oh, I guess not. Oh, I think I know what that scream's about. I remember. It's plot related. I thought I'd found like an Easter egg or something in the Japanese version. Oh well. That would have been cool if I added something like that. I remembered correctly. There's a key here too. Yeah, the precinct key, the diamond key. I do not remember where the diamond doors are. Luckily, it just kind of just tell you. There's one? Really? There's just one door? Would you say that's red or... No, it's definitely purple. So there are two doors, both on the first floor. Okay. Not exactly blowing the walls off progression, are we? Every time you get a key. So what does this give us? It gives us 1/2 of a blue stone. Half of an animal is etched onto the stone fragment. So I guess we're going back down to the first floor now. Which is the best way to go? Probably... I guess it doesn't really matter, actually. Let's just go this way. I know you're gonna wake up at some point, dude. Where's this zombie at? Let's check the map again. So there's a red door, so we don't need to go there yet. I'm not sure how I feel about the game just telling you where the doors are, to be honest. Like, it's not some, like, huge thing that ruins the game. But it does definitely make it easier. It definitely, like, makes the game easier to traverse around. Which I think would be one of the reasons that people criticize the game for being a bit more linear and a lot easier. It's just that you're not lost. It just kind of speeds up the mastery of the game a little bit. Maybe this door. Because obviously the more you play these games, the more that you learn the map anyway. It just kind of speeds that along for you. It's the other half of the two-way mirror. I wonder... I wonder what's going to happen when I pick up the puzzle item. I won't lie, like, that's pretty obvious now, but that got me the first time. That absolutely got me the first time that happened. Okay, there's one more door to unlock. She's over the other side. If I remember correctly, we can use the cord as well to kind of put the shutters down. To stop any zombies from getting in. Because zombies do break through those windows eventually. I'm not sure when, but it does happen. Yeah, that's all of the diamond doors anyway. Okay, there's lots of zombies in this room. Well, I've got myself into a bother now, haven't I? Let's leave. Grenade launcher. Grenade launcher required for that room. Okay, so let's put these away, because I don't need to use them straight away. And then let's get a grenade boy out. Let's keep these together as well. And we'll take some healing items with us, why not? Okay, I'm back! I'm ready for you this time! As always, grenade launcher is best. Oh, you survived! Great. Okay, I think everyone's dead now. What does this get us? The film? And anything else? The lock is broken. I will use the lockpick. What's that get to us? Plastic bomb. Okay. All I need now to destroy the wall being blocked by the helicopter is a detonator. Again, it's like the first game. It seems to be weird that sometimes the game just flat out tells you what to do. You know, like after you beat Plant 42, and the game tells you to go back to the mansion? I don't know if that, maybe that's from playtesting, maybe people got very stuck at this point. Where does this lead to? I can't remember. Oh, I remember. Welcome, Leon! Welcome, spelled with 2 L's. Memo to Leon. To Leon S. Kennedy, congratulations on your assignment to the Raccoon City Police Department. We all look forward to having you as part of our team, and promise to take good care of you. Welcome aboard from all the guys at the RPD. What a first day Leon is having. I do like how they actually misspelled welcome on the poster there. Someone's made quite a mess here. I wonder who would have done such a thing. Headless zombie. Hello, Marvin. Poor Marvin. Okay, that gives us the detonator. Bomb and det. Poor Marvin. Nothing suspicious. Anything else in here? Oh, I see the ammo. I saw it. Okay, cool. Let's head back up to where the helicopter is. Actually, let's develop this film and see what it is. Film A! So it's a big arm with an eyeball. Eee. Code G, human body experiment. So I guess that's G-virus experiments. Interesting. Okay, so I'll put that away. Let's do a save. Because next time we are going to go blow up that helicopter. So I look forward to seeing you then. Bye bye!